The GT NEO by SIMHUB. It has been out for a little while now, and yeah, it is my turn to review it. And yes, like the thumbnail says, I do feel like I've been cheated just that little bit. I will elaborate on my feelings a little bit later. I like to make you watch. As always, here are the topics we will be discussing today. Feel free to skip to any chapter that you want to watch. Anyway, this is a beautiful wheel. Let's just get straight into it. I always say it, what I think is wow, and looks absolutely amazing. You might not agree with me because looks are subjective. I'm just giving you my opinions. Listen here, I think 99 out of 100 people would agree. This wheel here by SIMHUB, the GT NEO, looks absolutely... Mamma mia, she's looking fine now. You know, really, she is amazing looking wheel. Look at this. The fact that we can use SIMHUB to change these buttons and give them a little breathing effect when you're not using it just adds to it, in my opinion. This whole thing looks amazing. The only thing I can say is the plastic knobs is the only thing that I wish I could replace, and possibly in the future. I will definitely pay $1 or $2 to maybe have some anodized aluminium knobs, you know, maybe some red ones to accompany these beautiful thumb rotary encoders, which are anodized aluminium, by the way. Yeah, listen here, not going to drag it out. This is a stunning wheel. There's no ifs or buts about it. Well done, SIMHUB. Build quality. Listen here, no one likes paying for something and then a couple of months down the line it doesn't work as it should. So build quality, especially when it comes to sim racing, is very, very important. I mean, some of us are running these wheels at very high Newton meters. And yeah, I myself, the last week, have been driving the LMP3s at Sebring. And you know, that is quite a bumpy track. And I like to run my force feedback quite higher than what I should, to be honest. And yeah, it's not given me a single bit of bother. I mean, this thing is, it is absolutely rock solid. I myself am not the strongest of guys out there, but I am 102 kilos. So, you know, yeah, I honestly think the build quality out of a box for $290 would exceed anybody's who purchased this wheel's expectations, and it certainly has with mine. I mean, you even get, look at this, you even get aluminium shifters. I mean, wow, you know what I mean? And clutch pedals on a wheel that's $290. They didn't say, listen, clutch pedals are optional, buy them for $50. No, it's included in the price, and it's nice. Unlike these ASETEK ones, look here. I mean, this year is built out of similar quality, and I would say this is probably the closest wheel I've got to the SIMHUB GT NEO. And yeah, this here comes with plastic clutches, and you can see there's quite a bit of flex in these. Now, you would never really push your shifters that hard, to be honest, but yeah, just again, a very, very good positive, you know, outcome when you're considering buying this wheel. It comes with aluminium shifters. I mean, honestly, build quality, wow. You're not going to have any bothers. Buttons. Let's talk a little bit about the buttons and inputs you get on this GT NEO. Now, as you can see, you get 10 beautiful backlit RGB buttons, and they have a very nice click to them, as you can hear, and actually a very nice firm push is needed to activate any of these buttons. This means you won't be pushing anything, gliding a finger over and pushing any of these buttons by mistake, so no oopsies there. It's good to see. You get these funky switches at the front, you get 2 of them, 7 ways, and you get a nice satisfying click whichever direction you are pushing them in, even the press. And then one thing I have to say, see the tactile feeling when I'm actually twisting using these as a rotary is even nicer than the feeling I get with these big knobs. And I would say these would be perfect for making fine adjustments in a car. Over here you get 4 of these nice big front encoders, and yeah, they work perfect. I would say they're like a medium, I would say a medium strength. They're definitely not the lightest I've had on a wheel. They're not the strongest either. They're just, I would say, medium resistance. I've got no real complaints about them. And yeah, they only work at the moment directional, so you can either go up or down. You cannot actually set a fixed position on these rotary encoders as of yet to represent something in the sim, so they are not position based. This might be something to come in future in a software update, and I hope it does, because that'd be just another feature that SIMMAGIC can brag about when it comes to this GT NEO. Over here we've got these 2 nice anodized aluminiums. I think it is anodized aluminium anyway. I don't see anything that tells me otherwise. But yeah, these 2 red ones here are nice thumb encoders, and in my opinion, the perfect resistance. Very quick for me just to go up 1 or 2% in my brake bias. However, most people tend to want these stiffer than what they are on this wheel, so just something you might want to consider. The only other thing I want to point out here when it comes to buttons, and I think it would have been amazing, is over here on the back. They've got this cover here, and I don't know if you can see it, this circle over here. It seems like they wanted to put buttons here in the back, but it kind of became an afterthought maybe, because I don't know why else they actually made the case this shape, and I think that would have been amazing. Driving and then just having another input there and another input there. I don't think it would have been too difficult for them to implement that. Maybe in future wheels, I don't know, just having an extra button here. I can imagine, putting your flashing your lights over here or something. I think it would have been very nice just to have 2 extra buttons. But are we getting greedy? How many buttons do you really need? I mean, I, to be honest, only use the top ones. I very rarely use the ones at the bottom. So, yeah, maybe the last thing we need is more buttons. But all the buttons function very well, and I've no complaints here. Onto the back of the wheel. Listen, let's start with the shifters, and I think they are very, very nice. Probably the nicest shifters I've had on a wheel that is under $300. In fact, I'm going to say they are 100% the nicest I've had on a wheel at this price point. They feel very, very nice, and they are dampened, so they aren't very loud. As you can hear, I don't even think this would bother anybody. If you are racing here and somebody is sitting right here next to you, I don't think it would bother them much, unless they are really, really picky. I think they feel fantastic. However, because they are dampened, you do feel that little rubber stop when you are pulling down on it, and also when you are letting go of it as well, you can feel it. So if you are a person that likes a super clicky, very tactile feeling shifter, then maybe this is not for you. There is a little rubber that dampens that effect. However, I actually think if you really want to, I can eyeball this rubber over here, and I think you can probably remove it, and then you would get a louder, more tactile feeling from this. Other than this, I think there's a very good resistance to them. You need a nice firm pull to make a shift. You're never going to make any extra shifts by mistake. And then onto these clutch pedals here, I think they feel fantastic. Also very nice and strong. I think if you were to use this maybe as a handbrake or a second brake for whatever reason, I think you could be very accurate with these, to be honest. They are very nice and smooth when you are operating them. Unlike the clutch, unlike the shift pedals over here, these here you cannot adjust left or right. However, if you do have smaller hands and you perhaps can't reach these shift pedals, you can undo these 2 bolts over here and then just pull this shifter pedal out. However, I would say most people would probably be very happy with how it is out of the box. The GT NEO, as the name suggests, is a GT style wheel, and it is 300 millimeters in diameter, which is in my opinion, the sweet spot for sim racing. If you want to use this in LMP3 cars and then jump into open wheeler cars or then into a GT car, it will suit all of them. If you are looking for one wheel to, you know, without you having to chop and change, or your budget maybe only allows you to have one wheel, I think this one here, you know, ticks the boxes for most cars. Unless you are going to be doing drifting or rallying and you need a round wheel, I think this wheel would be sufficient for pretty much everybody, which is fantastic. I think the way that SIMagic also laid out everything is very, very nice. If you look at these buttons at the top, they are very easy to get to. And a lot of wheels like this only have 2 buttons at the top. I like the fact that I actually got 3 of them at the top. These encoders on the front are very nicely spaced out, so even with gloves, it's easy for you to make adjustments. If I were to whack another encoder here right in the middle, like a lot of wheels do, then the space here becomes very limited in my opinion. So I like the fact that it's spaced out a little bit, and also you can see more of the back plate, which is nice. As you can see, I put stickers on my buttons. I myself did not like the colors and the stickers for these encoders over here, so I just left that blank. But yeah, with the LED radar here at the top, your revs lights and everything, the whole thing is laid out, in my opinion, very, very nicely, and it just looks amazing. The GT NEO comes out of a box equipped with this NRG style quick release. From what I've heard people say is that it's quite a strong connection. However, I do not have a base where I can test this out myself. I did have the ASETEK quick release on here. Where is it? I had this Invicta here on, and yeah, it worked perfectly. The only thing I can say is SIMagic, if you can perhaps make us just a cable this, you know, a nice short cable, so that way we can put it through our Invicta quick release instead of coiling it round. It would be very, very nice, of course. Just, you know, a little bit nicer, I guess. At the moment, I'm running my SIMHUB 2 Pro, and I've got this 0 play quick release on there, as you can see. If you do want to use your own quick release, you are going to have to buy one of these. This is the Mag Link, and it gives you this metal plate here at the back, where you then can attach any quick release that has a 50 to 70 mil bolt pattern. Over here you can see I've got a Formula 1 style, which is only 3 bolts connected on mine, and yeah, it does the job absolutely perfectly. You get this nice magnetic cable. They stole this idea from Cube Controls, however I'm very glad they did, and I actually think they've improved on the one that Cube Controls uses. The connection is much stronger, and also the shape, you can see there's like a shape to it, so it can only go in one way, which is very nice. And now you can see the light up procedure will start over there. In general, I think okay, I quickly want to show you what some of the lights do for me on my wheel, and how I've got mine set up in SIMHUB. So over here, I'm going to raise my hand. You can see this is just coming over my shoulder. The camera is here on top of me, filming me here on the wheel. If I'm in the pit lane, this screen will come on. It'll flash blue and red like so. This is a screen I made myself. This means I'm in the pit lane, however my pit limiter is not on. So it is now telling me I need to switch on my pit limiter. And as soon as I switch my pit limiter on, it goes to the standard one that you get with the wheel, the red and the blue, which I really, really like. So that's a nice handy feature. Let's switch them off. For me, when I've got my ABS is active, whenever I'm pushing maybe too hard on my brakes, I've got these 4 encoders here go purple. I know it looks kind of white here on the screen, but it's not white. It's actually a very nice purple. So it'll kind of flash like that. You know, actually much faster than that. I can't click as fast as that, but it'll just show you, okay, you've now got ABS active. Whenever I've got a black flag, this is my black flag. This is another one that I made myself, and it just shows me, okay, you've got a black flag, you have to come into the pits. Yellow flag, I like to see it nice and bright. The whole thing is yellow, and I know there's an accident up ahead, or someone's off the track, or some sort of oopsie happened somewhere. White flag, this is my last lap, you know, just standard. Blue flag, I've only got the 4 encoders here. I don't want the whole thing flashing blue. Sometimes a car can be behind you for quite a while, and I don't want my whole steering wheel flashing blue. So I just made it that these 4 encoders in the middle would start flashing blue whenever I've got a blue flag. And then green flag, of course, is go, go, go. We're just at the start of a race. The whole wheel will go green when it is go. I've also got spotters linked on here. This is for car on the left, and then you've got car on the right, and of course you can if you're in the middle, you're gonna have them flashing on both sides. So yeah, it's very nice with these LEDs. These are just some of the information that you know, they can give you during a race. Now I'm just quickly going to show you here the ABS and the traction control. That took me a little while to set up, but it is very nice. So this blue breathing screen you see over here is my idle screen, and whenever I'm not racing or I jump, I'm just in the lobby or I'm doing anything else, it's this blue screen. And as you can see, as soon as I join a session, I just jumped into a session here, it changes to my racing colors. And here you can see the dots that I'm talking about. Now as soon as I jump in the car, them dots would represent on this one here my traction control. So if the car is set to 3, you'll see this little light here will go on. On the ABS, same thing. Whichever setting it's on, it will jump to that. Anyway, I'll show you that now. I just see I need to configure this car up. Okay, that's saying my car has started, and now I'm in the pit lane. Like I said before, I've got the flashing blue. However, you can see these little dots here at the top. That's telling me at the moment that my traction control is set to 1 and my ABS is set to 1. Pit limiter on, pit limiter off. Let's just get out of the pits. That way I can show you more clearly. There we go. So this is me out of the pit now. And you can see here when I adjust this, now I'm on traction control 3. And I can go all the way. There's 6, and I don't know if you can't see the light here at the bottom, but you can see there on my nail is red. Now if I bring it around all the way to where it goes, so this is now on set to 10. And yeah, whatever the in-car represents, it lights up there. Over here at the moment in my car, the ABS is set to 1, and that's where it's represented. If I move it now to 4, you'll see it's this light over here, and if I set it to 9, it'll be this light over here. That is 11, and that's 12, the max that the ABS can go. So yeah, that's something that I just added on there just for myself. I think it works very nice. It just means whenever, doesn't matter what car I drive, as soon as I get into it, it will tell me, I can see just from a glance down what my settings are, what the ABS and what the traction control is set at. I really like that. If you are driving a car that doesn't have ABS, for example, then it will just be at that top light over there. So then you know, okay, it is 0. You're either on 0 or 12, and the chances are you'll be on 0. The last thing I want to show you here that you can do on SIMHUB is this bar over here. Now this is obviously standard set to your revs, and that's what I've got it on. But if you so choose to, you can have all your flags come up here, you can have your spotters over here, you can make this whatever you want, just the same as you do here with the buttons. However, I choose to have this exclusively just for my revs. This does not give me any information to what's happening in the game. That's just the way how I prefer it. However, a lot of people do not like all these lights flashing and things, and they prefer just to have 1 or 2 LEDs here light up, maybe the first 2 here to say you've got a yellow flag or something like that. So it is possible. In SIMHUB you can edit this whole thing to your heart's desire, and that is amazing. And I mean, all that on a wheel at this price range, I think it's fantastic. Very briefly, just want to blow through the SIMHUB's own software, and as you can see on my screen here, I've just got a small, the wheel just small there, so I can fit this screen in over here. You can see this says this device is now controlled by SIMHUB. Whenever I go to SIMHUB and I close it, if I want to make adjustments, I got to close here first. And that is it now closed. Now I can use the SIMHUB software. However, like I said, I think you should be using SIMHUB. That is my opinion. I think you should go that route. The only thing why you should be coming into this software is to change the clutch bite point. So here's a clutch bite point. Let's say we set it there to 70. You can see it's there, and this is on sync. So it means if I push one clutch in, let me see if I turn the wheel here. You can maybe, you can't really see the clutch. Yeah, I'm pushing one clutch in, and then if I push in the other clutch, which is over here, it then goes to 100. So that is how the clutches work. Very easy. You can also use them as buttons. If you do not use clutches, you can use them, two bottom paddles, just as buttons. You'll see here button 24, and there's button 27, whichever one you are pushing. Easy as pie. Now, if you want to change colors to the buttons, you literally just, let's say we want to change this one over here. You go here, you click on it, and the screen pops up. It's green, blue, light blue, purple, white. As easy as that. And that's the same for the encoders. You just click on it, and it is that easy for you just to change the colors. Like I said again, I think you should be doing this in SIMHUB. However, this is very, very basic, and you can do it on here. You can also adjust your rev lights. So if you go to light, over here, and these are your rev lights, so whenever you are at 97%, this is the color you'll see. That's what I meant earlier by I didn't like the color. I didn't like my last, when I'm at 100% revs, for it to be blue. I prefer it to be red. You know, that's just kind of me. So I changed this in SIMHUB. But yeah, that's the Sim Pro Manager by SIMagic. That's a software just in a nutshell. What are my final thoughts about this GT NEO by SIMagic? Listen here, I do not even feel cheated in the slightest bit while I've got this wheel mounted onto my rig. Surprise, surprise. The reason I feel cheated when I'm using this wheel is when I think about all the hundreds and hundreds of dollars, euros and pounds I've spent in the past to get similar wheels with even less features than this. I have spent $600–700 on wheels that do not have half the features that this GT NEO has packed into it. It is an absolute rock solid unit, and I think that 99.99999% of people who buy this, and I'm including people who have high-end setups, would be very happy to have this wheel in their collection. I mean, honestly, I would not even sell this wheel. Even a couple of years down the line, it would not pay me to sell this wheel, because I would just, what are you going to get, $200 for it? What are you going to buy for $200 that's better than this? At this very moment, nothing. I'll wait. But no, I think SIMagic has done an absolute wunderbar job at putting this wheel together. I think that anybody would be very happy to add this wheel to their collection, and at this price point, really, I think it should be a no-brainer for nearly any, and the fact that you can use it on any base. I make zero money. I have no affiliation with SIMagic. I paid for this wheel out of my own money. I was not sent this wheel. So, I can highly recommend this wheel to you. I make nothing out of it. I really do think it's an absolute fantastic wheel. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. As always, I hope your next race is a winner. Hallelujah.